Okay, my name is Scott Baker. I'm Vice President for IT at Southwestern Community College, and I've been in the Rotary Club of Sylva for 28 years. There's been several. Rotary International, as far as projects go, we do everything from local projects to international projects. So speaking specifically to local projects, one project that the club started before I joined that really had gotten attention in the community was the Bridge Park in Sylva, Poteet Park in particular. As someone who grew up here and going to the Sylva pool, the park was right adjacent to that pool. And so it had been, I won't say it was been in disrepair, but it had a lot of older things, and the town of Sylva was managing it. But it needed some refreshing and updating. So the Rotary Club of Sylva, before I joined, had taken it on as a major project to totally redo that park. So they did it as a community-based project where they brought the community in, not just Rotarians, but the Rotary Club really was the foundation for making it happen, and fundraising for it and organizing the labor. So they really overhauled that to make it a real gem in our community. So that project, which we have done a couple of facelifts over the years and some readdressing of issues there, has been an ongoing project that we've had. So that's one in the community directly that's been a big benefit that was there. I can name a couple others. Probably another biggest one, I'm an Air Force veteran myself, and my father and my grandfather were also veterans, and I have other family members that are veterans. So we do the Flag for Heroes project, is where we, a couple times a year, it's usually, I'll misstate these, but Memorial Day, July 4th, and Veterans Day. We work in concert with Jackson County government, where the Jackson County Library is downtown, which is the old courthouse. So we work and we have sponsorships that people can sponsor a family member, themselves, whatever they want to do. And then we put a flag up in their honor on that hill. And so it's a visual spectacle of respect. And a lot of people come during those times as from a tourist aspect, but just in a recognition of veterans to have all those flags on that hill. So if you've not seen it, it's something really neat to see. Yeah, I was working in the private sector at the time. One of the owners of the company I worked for was a member of Rotary International in the Sylva Rotary Club, and invited me to come be a member. It was more of a business networking piece because we did telecommunications, IT support, web design, and all of those sort of things. So just to come be a member of the club and really do business networking. Most of the people that were in the club were really business leaders in the community and folks that I had known in different capacities, even though I was younger than they were. But it was kind of a business tie-in to join. So as far as business connections made in Rotary, it was really, it was one of the reasons that I got the foot in the door here at the college. So at the time I was working in the private sector, and the chief academic officer here at the college, who was the executive vice president for instruction and student services, was also a member of Rotary. So I joined Rotary, and I was in for a couple years, and then they had a faculty position open here at the college that was in the IT department. That's not IT that I'm over, but over on the instructional side, teaching. And so he asked me about my interest in doing that sort of thing. So that really was the connection to me getting here at Southwestern Community College, was a relationship with someone in the Rotary Club who was here at the college. Oh, most definitely. My first taste of Rotary was when I was a senior in high school, and I got recognized as a Rotary Student of the Month. And so I went to a meeting and got to be I had no idea what they did. My grandfather was in Kiwanis, but I didn't really know what they did other than they just met and did stuff. So went to a meeting and got to really see and meet some of the people who I knew, tangentially as leaders in the community, but also people that I knew. And so that was kind of a taste of, hey, this is something pretty cool. It seems like it's for, older people, but it's people in the community that make things happen and make a difference. So that was sort of my first hook. So then once I joined as an official member, even though I went in with the pretense of making business connections, really seeing what a social service club it was. So that social piece just happened, getting to know the members, getting to people that were my either my elders or mentors in some way, like what used to be a principal at the high school that I went to, or an instructor or some other business leader in the community. I was getting to know them personally one-on-one. So to build those relationships socially was really important. So getting to know like a Charles McConnell, who's no longer living, but he was a real towering figure in our community, literally and figuratively, because he played basketball at WCU, I think during the Henry Logan era, if I'm not mistaken. And so having people like that, and he's a former public school administrator, makes things happen. They have Charlie's Challenge every year. Our New Century Scholar program that SEC is a part of, that students get put into the pipeline for that from like 7th grade, and then as long as they pass their courses through high school, they get free admission and tuition to SEC, and then they can move on to WCU, and it's all covered. So like people that make those things happen socially, it was really inspiring to be around them and see what they were doing in the community, to really invigorate me to know, or to want to give back as part of that too. It's not that I never didn't want to give back or be part of the community, but it was really a pathway to make that happen. So that social interaction was really important. The meetings weren't just a meet and greet social club. Like, while it was friendly, like Rotary gets things done. So at the local level all the way to internationally, one of the big pushes is the eradication of polio. Rotary International works with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So like eradication of polio is huge on the planet. And so really getting that taken care of is something that's massive. So providing well water for countries, third world countries that don't have clean drinking water, making sure that women get educated because they're the ones that in a lot of third world societies get suppressed. So making those things actually happen is like really neat. Like those things actually change the world locally and internationally. I mean, we work with all of the local nonprofits that want to be partners with us. So when we do fundraisers throughout the year, we're raising money for them, because then we'll have a day of giving for the nonprofits where they come in, and after our board goes through the process, like we have a vetted process for it and we have procedure on it, that we award based on what their requests are and then projects that they want to do. And they'll come present to us and say, hey, here's what we did with the money that you gave us last year, and here's what we plan to do with the money that you're giving us this year. So that really gives us skin in the game to know what they're going to do, and it makes them accountable for the ask. I mean, there's not any nonprofits that we have any worries about. They all do great things in our community. And then we also do things directly, depending on what our membership level is. We can do bigger projects, but we do things like build ramps for the handicapped. We usually try to do that in partnership with other agencies, like the Jackson County Department on Aging has a day project, and we'll send teams into that where we go, and some of it's helping people clean their house, or to get rid of brush that they've got, or to on the highest level build a ramp to get in where they might have someone who's excessively challenged. So it's really giving people access to things, but also empowering them, and also doing something that they might not be able to do themselves, or that they can't afford to do, or have never asked to do. So we just try to champion for people that are in need, and that's probably the biggest thing that Rotary does. There used to be an attendance requirement for all the meetings, and so we meet weekly on Thursdays at lunch. Other clubs meet different times of the day or different days of the week, but there was an attendance component, and it was required. If you missed a meeting, you had to make it up somehow. You had to go attend another club's meeting, or there was really not a lot of online opportunities. So that made it tough for a lot of people. You had to be committed to be in Rotary. So part of the hook to get people there weekly is we have a different program every week. So we have people come present, usually 15 or 20 minutes. And so that's been a really great educational opportunity, because you have someone, we'd have a variety of topics. Like one week we might have the WCU football coach come talking. The next one is the person who's running the nonprofit organization that we're helping, or it might be someone who's the president of this entity or CEO, or it could just be some benign topic, or we could have someone come from economic development. So we try to make every week interactive and a learning experience, because that gets people coming and interested, but that's not why they're there, but it's a good reason to be why they're there. And then a social component that we do at all the meetings that's really neat is we do a thing called Happy Dollars. So at the end of every meeting, everyone gets the microphone that wants it, and you can give money for everything that you're happy about. So you can say, I've got $3 happy, and you can say the 3 things that you're happy about. So it's a nice time to really give shout outs to people, or to just say things that you're happy about. And that makes it really a a social engagement piece, but that's also a hook for people that some people can brag on someone else or brag on themselves or their kids or anything that's going on or something that the club's doing. So those sort of dynamics within the meetings has made it really enjoyable to go. They don't have an attendance requirement anymore post-pandemic. The numbers in Rotary dropped quite a bit like they did with a lot of organizations, but we're really kind of on the recovery back, and then really everyone that's there is active and is a part of it. Usually if people don't get engaged in the club in the first year or two of membership, they'll drop out because they're not really bought in. And so they just need to find their purpose. And some people are just exploring that, and some people just really want to do something, so they'll find a way. But mentorship's an important piece. So as someone who's been in the club for a while, I'm like, what are your interests? So if I know you're a techie, I can be like, hey, every week, can you help me with the AV? We've got a laptop to set up, we've got to set up the microphone, we've got presentations coming in, here are all the things that are going to happen, so help me do that weekly. And you're like, that's in my wheelhouse, I got it. Then you have a purpose for those sort of things. So that's some of the stuff that happens weekly. Yeah, I think as far as time investment goes weekly, it's really what you're able to do, and really what you want to do and are able. Like, if you're younger, you have kids, you have commitments. That became a problem with a lot of folks that couldn't come to meetings, especially if they were in the evening. Ours, which was a noon one, works for a lot of people, but some people can't get away from work to do it, to do that piece. So I think really that change and that attendance requirement is like, we want, when I say we, I'm saying Rotary collectively, but this is Scott's interpretation, is we want you to be plugged into what Rotary does, not just the meeting itself. So if you don't ever come to a weekly meeting, well, there's benefits, definitely benefits to those because of the social piece and other things that I've mentioned. We want you to be part of the projects. So we want you to be, when we're at Poteet Park fixing it up, we want you to be at Greening Up the Mountains, and we want you to be doing the litter pickup, the river cleanup. We want you to travel to Guatemala to help dig this well. Like, we want you to be part of those things, and that's where we want your time. So, like, for me personally, a lot of my time spent each week at the meetings is preparing for the meetings, because I coordinate all of the AV piece for the presenters. I take pictures at all the meetings, I shoot the videos, and then I have post-production on those when I come back. So some of my work day is involved with investing in doing some of the Rotary things. Sometimes then if there's an evening event or a weekend event that I can make it to, then I'll go just be there and take pictures or actively involved. But I'm usually the part of the PR team to make sure that we collect the things, because if people don't know what we're doing, we don't want to be the greatest secret that there is. So that's really important, is to get the word out there of what we're doing so people know. For everyone that considers doing things, I think Rotary is a great avenue, however you get involved with it. And you're always welcome to come to our club meetings in Sylva. You're a guest anytime you want to come, get engaged. And then once people get to whatever community they're in, Rotary's everywhere. So anywhere you go, you can go to a Rotary meeting. It's happening somewhere on some day of the week. So it's kind of like people, it's like you're in the fold. And it's the biggest volunteer service organization on the planet. So it's everywhere. And it's really apolitical. We have people from all political sides, but their common ground is helping others. It's a really welcoming organization. Everyone's on the same team for a common good.